Hello and welcome to our financial market review. Investors are gradually coming to terms with the tension on the yield curve, which reflects the strong economic recovery in the United States and the concrete implementation of the Biden plan. Even though inflation figures have reassured and the 10-year and 30-year bond issues have been well welcomed, the inflation theme will probably come back to the forefront by the end of the second quarter. Especially that the main inflation figures are expected to have a strong rebound due to the base effect. Whilst awaiting the Fed's chairman Powell's speech on the monetary policy this Wednesday, the Fed is likely to continue to play down this risk by saying that inflation will be transitory. However, the most important thing is how investors will react to the soaring inflation numbers. We already see China, who is ahead of the economic cycle, releasing accelerating inflation numbers. In this context, we prefer quality stocks, meaning those with solid balance sheets and steady revenue growth. Indeed, the sector rotation that has favored cyclical oil and financial stocks since the beginning of the year could finally benefit this quality sector. The latter includes companies such as Procter & Gamble, Visa, Johnson & Johnson and Unilever, amongst others. There is, however, an unknown parameter. What stocks will be favored by the millennials who are most likely to invest in the stock markets with the $1,400 stimulus checks received since this weekend? Powell's speech would be even more practical compared to the previous meetings. The flexibility given to banks not to include their purchases of US Treasury bonds in their leverage calculations ends on March 31st. On the other hand, in view of the recent economic publications, the US growth forecast should be revised upwards, and finally, the pace of bond issuance will increase. All of it will be accompanied by inflationary concerns. We will also be watching out for February's retail sales figures, the 20-year bond issue, and interest rate projections as well as the US housing sector figures. In the Eurozone, inflation figures will be released. Let's see what this week brings along in the US and Eurozone with all the happenings around. Till then, stay tuned and have a nice week ahead.